there's about 400,000 votes in Maricopa and about 35,000 election day votes in Pima, which Blake Masters won, and he's going to win them as well. 275,000 of the 400 mail votes in Maricopa are votes that people walked in, Steve, and dropped off on Election Day. That is a big margin vote for Republicans. So Kari Lake, that's all but done. She's going to win. Abe Hamadeh's going to win.
So I want to hear about this because I've heard about this a bunch, and I don't have an intimate understanding of Arizona elections. So please, for me and anybody else that doesn't live in Arizona, a lot of folks, 275,000 drop-off votes yesterday, right? They walk in, votes filled out, they drop it, they go, or show their ID, whatever they do. Boom. How heavily does that favor Republicans, generally speaking, percentage-wise?
Speaking percentage-wise, it's at least 60-40. We actually have it in our exits much closer to 72, basically. It's the voter who doesn't trust the mail system. It's the voter who is already listed as a mail voter, but if they want to be an election day voter, they'll have to cast a provisional ballot, so they don't do that. They get their ballot in the mail, and they wait until election day to drop it off. The Republican Party tried to get them not to do that this time, but there are just some people who are so skeptical in the mail-in voting system that they won't do it. This is the vote Kari Lake won big over Karen Taylor Robson, which the media just couldn't understand. We had called the race, and they couldn't understand why myself and others were so confident Lake would win and win easily. It's because that voter is so heavily to them. The other 125,000 that are in Maricopa were late mailers, Steve. So those are people who were not they were not decided, and those late deciders went to the Republicans. So Mark
by
Kelly,
what margin?
Katie Hobbs, by a good yes. So Katie Hobbs, Mark
60.
Kelly,
are you still in that 60-40 range, or are you somewhere else?
If all of that comes together, all that entire batch comes together, and Masters wins at 60-40, he's going to win. It's very doable. The prediction markets are like lost in the sauce on this. The math is there, and with the margins we saw last night come in, it's not only there. I mean, something would have to change in order for Masters not to overcome Kelly. And Kelly and Hobbs, all the vote that they have, winning 11, 14-point margins, that is that early vote drop, and that's it. If they don't get a big drop, if they don't get a margin big enough to withstand the 275 out of the smaller batch, they're going to lose, both of them. And
so 35,000, where does the 35,000 vote batch come from?
Yeah, that's Pima election day, which Republicans won by 30 points yesterday. So it's just remaining that hasn't been counted yet, hasn't been tabulated yet. And there is still vote in Yavapai, which is 70+% Republican. It's not a lot.
So based on that math, I mean, quite clearly, if you have 400,000 votes, 60-40, that makes up the deficit that Masters has now. It does. If they take up 65% of the 35,000 votes, clearly he wins. Kari Lake wins going away. The seat is important.